your ass, you'll floss your teeth with my shoelaces, nigga. Play with me, bro. Don't play with me, bro. Don't play with mine, bro. Don't play with mine. Just don't play with mine.
I remember how you and Wallow were crying. You and Wallow were crying. Oh, my son. Oh, my son got killed. Oh, you were crying. Now you talking about snitching. You goddamn right I'm a law-abiding citizen.
I got family. I got willing to risk their lives and freedom to die by me and mine. You hear me? Why don't play with me, man?
See, your boy don't know how to fight. Neither do that T.I. little yellow motherfucker, long hair freak. That little motherfucker don't know how to fight either. Nigga, them y'all babies is rapper nigga babies. And that little T.I. little boy, that little yellow son bitch think he playing tough. You going to jail, nigga. Oh, you little boy going to jail. That just like your daddy. Shit, ain't going to jail.
About my son, what some grown man had to say about my son, man. Somebody please, just pull me up to speed, man. Just pull me up to speed. How some grown man had some shit to say about my son. Just pull me up to speed on there, man. Just pull me up to speed on there, man. What sucker ass grown as wasted his whole life doing absolutely nothing. Got something to say about my son at the beginning of his...
The internet has always been a wild place where words fly faster than punches, but this time things got real personal. Charleston White, a man already known for stirring the pot, decided to go after none other than King Harris. The son of T.I. and Tiny, King has been in the headlines before, but never like this. And when Charleston took his shots, he crossed a line that nobody expected. Social media lit up instantly, and what followed was a storm of anger, pain, and explosive reactions. And at the center of it all was T.I., a father who could not sit back and watch someone disrespect his child. What you're about to hear is not just a story about a feud, it's about family, pride, and a man pushed to his breaking point. It all started the way so many viral moments do, with a clip. Charleston White was doing what he always does, speaking recklessly on a live stream, saying the kind of things he knows will rile people up. But this time, instead of just taking aim at rappers or the hip-hop culture at large, he went after a young man, a teenager still trying to find his way. He called out King Harris, mocking him, insulting his behavior, and dragging up his past controversies for laughs. Charleston knew exactly what he was doing.
He was with him. He was with him. Man, we was about to whoop your ass. You come back down here, I'm telling you. I can see you had a soft upbringing.
I just tagged the Atlanta Police Department since T.I. son threatened to kick my... I'm a senior citizen. That's a threat, and he left me evidence. Not only did I tag the Atlanta Police Department, I tagged Miss Fannie Willis T.I. No, how y'all... I ain't no T.I. in the boxing match. I'm gonna put his son in jail. I'm gonna box this man for it. I want to put his little boy in jail.
He's built a reputation on saying the unsayable, on targeting people who will fight back. But what he may not have expected was the firestorm he ignited. For those who don't know, Charleston White is not your everyday internet personality. He's outspoken, unapologetic, and thrives on controversy. A self-proclaimed activist and comedian, he's also one of the most divisive figures online. Some people praise him for keeping it real, for calling out hypocrisy in hip-hop culture, while others see him as nothing more than a troll who goes too far. But whether you love him or hate him, you can't ignore him, and he knows it. His entire persona is built on shock value, and the more outrageous his words, the more attention he gets. So when Charleston turned his attention to King Harris, he went all in. He didn't just criticize him lightly, he ridiculed his look, mocked his tough guy image, and even dragged up videos of King getting into fights in public. He used those moments to paint him as a spoiled kid trying to play gangster. And while Charleston might have thought it was all jokes, the reality was that he was targeting a teenager, a young man who already lives under the microscope because of who his parents are. It wasn't just commentary, it was disrespect. King Harris has had his share of moments online that made him the subject of memes and debates. From videos of him arguing with people in fast food restaurants to clips of him bragging about his upbringing despite critics saying he's privileged, King's image has been complicated. People either see him as a kid acting out or as someone trying to prove himself in a world that constantly questions him. And Charleston White seized on those controversies like a vulture, ripping them apart for his own entertainment. But the internet doesn't let things stay quiet for long. Within hours of Charleston's comments, the clips were everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, you couldn't scroll without seeing Charleston's words replayed, stitched, and dissected. And it wasn't just fans chiming in. celebrities, bloggers, and commentators all had something to say. Some laughed it off, agreeing with Charleston's critique of King. Others were outraged, saying children should never be dragged into these kinds of public feuds. But in the middle of all the noise, one voice was about to rise louder than all the rest. TI for TI. This wasn't just another internet spat. This was personal. Imagine being a father and seeing a grown man publicly ridicule your teenage son, turning him into the butt of jokes for millions to see. For years, T.I. has fought to protect his family to defend their name and legacy. He's dealt with gossip, rumors, and the pressures of fame. But when it came to King, his blood boiled in a way we haven't seen before. He didn't stay silent, and he didn't sugarcoat his words. T.I. took to social media, and from the moment he started speaking, you could feel the rage in his voice. His words cut sharp, fueled by a father's pain and a man's pride. He called out Charleston White directly, warning him that some lines should never be crossed. He reminded Charleston that his son was still young, still figuring things out, and that no grown man should ever be targeting a kid in such a disrespectful way. The emotion was raw, and the internet could feel it. This wasn't a carefully scripted PR move. This was a father exploding, letting the world know he wouldn't tolerate anyone dragging his child's name through the mud, and T.I. didn't just stop there. He spoke about what it means to be a parent in the public eye, the struggles of raising kids when every mistake becomes front-page news. He talked about the pain of seeing his family constantly scrutinized and the unfairness of people who act like celebrity kids are fair game. His words resonated deeply with parents everywhere who understood that at the end of the day, fame or not, your children are off limits. Charleston White, of course, didn't back down. That's not in his nature. Instead of apologizing or even staying quiet, he doubled down. He clapped back online, mocking T.I. for being emotional, accusing him of raising a child who invites criticism, and refusing to show any remorse. The back and forth between Charleston and T.I. became the talk of the internet, with fans picking sides and the drama growing bigger by the hour. Some saw T.I. as a protective father standing up for his son, while others dismissed his anger, claiming Charleston was simply speaking the truth about King's behavior. But what people often forget is that behind the headlines and the viral clips, there's a real family dealing with the fallout. Imagine being King Harris in this situation, already under pressure to live up to the legacy of your parents, already facing criticism for your every move, and now being ridiculed by a grown man on one of the biggest stages online. The impact of that kind of public humiliation can't be understated. And T.I. knew it. That's why he came out swinging, because for him, this wasn't just about pride. It was about protecting his son's mental and emotional well-being. As the feud escalated, the debate expanded beyond just T.I. and Charleston. It became part of a larger conversation. Should kids of celebrities be fair game? Is it ever okay to publicly drag someone who's still young and impressionable, no matter their mistakes? The internet is a ruthless place, and fame makes you an easy target. But many argued that Charleston crossed an ethical line. Others pushed back, saying King has put himself out there enough to be subject to criticism. The clash of opinions only added fuel to the fire. T.I.'s explosion, though, sent a clear message. This wasn't a man afraid of controversy. This was a father daring anyone to come for his family again. His tone was so heated, so filled with conviction, that it shook even those who usually laugh off Charleston White's antics. For once, it felt like Charleston had picked the wrong opponent. And the world was watching to see what would happen next. What would happen next. But the truth is, the story is far from over. Charleston White thrives on attention like a moth to a flame, and he knows exactly how to push buttons and stoke the fire. He's the kind of provocateur who feeds on controversy, never shying away from turning up the heat when the cameras are on. And then there's T.I., a man who has built a reputation not just on his music, but on his strength and resilience. Backing down? That's not in his vocabulary, especially when the fight is personal. As long as Charleston keeps throwing punches with his words, and T.I. keeps stepping into the ring to defend his family, this feud is only going to escalate. The tension between them is thickening by the day, with each insult and counterattack raising the stakes higher and higher. So the big question remains, where does it all end? Will this simmer down to a war of words that eventually fades like every other scandal in the spotlight? Or could it explode into something far messier, dragging everyone into a drama nobody wanted? And amid this toxic back and forth is King Harris, their teenage son, caught squarely in the crossfire of a battle he never asked to be a part of. While the adults trade verbal blows and play their power games, King is left trying to navigate a minefield of public scrutiny and family chaos. The emotional toll on him is something no headline can capture, but it's very real, and it's happening behind the scenes, away from the flashing cameras. One thing is crystal clear. This isn't just some manufactured drama meant for viral clicks or social media buzz. This is raw, painful reality tearing at the core of what it truly means to live life in the public eye. T.I. has made it painfully clear that when his family is attacked, he won't just sit back and watch. He's ready to fight fiercely, unfiltered, and without apology. On the other side, Charleston White has made it equally clear he won't stop speaking his mind until he's said everything he wants, no matter how brutal or provocative. It's a collision of two strong, unapologetic personalities, with King Harris tragically caught in the middle. The internet is glued to every moment, unable and unwilling to look away. And as jaw-dropping as this drama is, it leaves us all wondering, what happens next? Will Charleston finally be held accountable for the things he said, or will he keep pushing until the fire burns out of control? Can T.I. find a way to protect his son from this relentless spotlight? Or will King continue to be dragged deeper into this adult mess that's spiraling out of control? The answers aren't clear just yet, but one thing is undeniable. T.I. has drawn a line in the sand. When it comes to King Harris, no one, not Charleston White, not the internet, not anyone, will be allowed to cross that boundary. That's the kind of fierce, protective love, the kind of raw fury that only a father can summon. And right now, that love is all that stands between King and the chaos surrounding him.